sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch broadcast, it's easy. Just go to Reaver.1 and click on the SHR TV button. All right. Oh, I see the shit still going on. Politicians acting like, well, politicians do. Even some of the so-called GOP have lost their balls. They're afraid of the truth. They're so afraid of Democrats, it's not even funny anymore. They bow down to the Democrats so much, it's embarrassing. I don't know. What are we going to do? It's fucking ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. Let me see. Where are we? I want to start off with a soundbite from Dinesh D'Souza. He's having a talk with somebody about the Democrat Party and who they really are and all that. And hold on 1 second. You know it takes me time to get everything up and running. Let me get this. Bump. Without further ado, this is Dinesh D'Souza.
Joining us this morning is author and filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza. Nice to see you, Dinesh. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
All right, this is a very timely subject matter that we're talking about because of what happened in Charlottesville. These American Nazis and this party decided that they were going to demonstrate. Counter-demonstrators joined in the fray, and what ended up was, of course, the unfortunate death of this woman, the death of 2 police officers in a helicopter. All of this is just part of what we call American history. This is just because people have the right to demonstrate, and even the mayor of Charlottesville said this could have been a very peaceful demonstration were it not for some of the conflict. So let's get into your book, The Big Lie. What's really the origin of all of this?
Well, ultimately, what these skirmishes are about is a narrative of American history. Who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? Mm-hmm. And part of why the media is running with this whole Charlottesville narrative is it seems on the surface to support the idea that the bad guys are the right-wingers. Here you've got these neo-Nazis, these KKK guys. They seem to be for Trump. The good guys are fighting against them. But the whole thing is a kind of scam. And by that I mean, number one, the guy who organized this hate rally turns out to be a former Obama guy and an Occupy Wall Street guy. So right away, it's a little suspect.
I've been saying that wholeheartedly.
Supposedly the demonstration was because they want to pull down this monument of Robert E. Lee. Now, Robert E. Lee was...
He was a Confederate president.
He was the leader, the general.
The general of the Confederacy.
But he was a military guy. Right. And in fact, he was such a good guy that Lincoln offered him the supreme command of the Union forces. Lee was a Virginian, so he refused to go to war with Virginia. Mm-hmm. But he was against slavery, and he opposed secession. He didn't want the South to secede. So if you're looking for a symbol of slavery and secession, don't start with Robert E. Lee. There are lots of bad guys. Robert Byrd, we were mentioning a moment ago.
Senator Byrd from West Virginia.
Senator Byrd was a high-up guy in the West Virginia Ku Klux Klan. And yet here's a guy who was called the conscience of the Senate, lionized by Hillary, Obama, Bill Clinton was at his funeral. Half of West Virginia is named after this guy. You drive up West Virginia, Robert Byrd School, Robert Byrd Highway, Robert Byrd this.
He was a grand wizard with the KKK.
And no one's pulling his statues down. So part of what I'm getting at is this. The left has sort of constructed this lie that the Klan was on the right. The Klan was actually the domestic terrorist arm of the Democratic Party. That the Nazis were on the right. Wait a minute. Hitler was a National Socialist. That was the name of his party. Mm-hmm. Mussolini was a Marxist. So the real fascists were on the left. And in fact, they were in bed with the American left.
So how did this get twisted?
After World War II, when the images of the concentration camps came out, these emaciated people, fascism became totally discredited. Mm-hmm. And the progressives who were coming to power in America, in the academy, in the media, they knew the record. And they were like, we better cover this up. We don't want young people to link us with all this horrible stuff. So we're going to try to move fascism from the left-wing column, where it's always belonged, into the right-wing column, so we can smear our opponents from now on with the fascist label.
It appears that they have been successful, though.
They've been very successful, and this book is a sort of detoxifier. It's an antidote to these big lies. And by blowing up these big lies, we take away these false narratives. Because people talk about fake news. I'm into fake scholarship and fake history. And that's a big problem in this country, too.
But how do you denounce hate? I mean, the thing about this is that the label is hate. Okay, we are against hate. We do not want to promote hate. Yet the First Amendment provides a forum for hate, or for anything that's different than what you believe. Anyone can say whatever they want, be it hate speech or not hate speech. How do you see that?
Well, the way I see it is that you cross the line from speech into violence when you start beating people up and killing them, right?
Sure,
so
yeah.
the guy who plowed
That's
into
just criminal.
That's criminal behavior.
Yeah.
Now, there were 200 people arrested for rioting, felony rioting, that's the charge, at the Trump inauguration. Now, normally these leftists are like, listen, we're noble rioters, put us in jail overnight, we'll be martyrs in the morning. Mm-hmm. But felony rioting is a crime with 5 to 10 years in prison. So if you want to lock up the white supremacists, and you should, who killed that woman, let's make sure we prosecute these dudes too, and let's see some prison sentences. Once we hold people accountable to the law, some of this will subside.
So when I read this book, The Big Lie, what surprise am I going to read in this book? That JFK liked Hitler?
I'll let it finish.
That's a big surprise. The FDR was a fan of Mussolini, but I'll give you a bigger surprise. The Nazis, Hitler, developed some of their most genocidal schemes by taking ideas straight from the Democratic Party. I'm not saying that they were similar. I'm saying the Nazis got it.
That seems outrageous to me.
Well, I'll give you an example. So the Nazis are sitting in 1935. They're drafting the Nuremberg laws against Jews. And they go, we are great. We're creating the world's first racial state. One of the Nazis stands up and he goes, I studied in America. The Americans have beaten us to the punch. The Democrats in the South already have segregation. They already have state-sponsored discrimination. They already outlaw intermarriage. Everything we're trying to do to Jews, they do to blacks. Let's take their laws. We'll cross out the word black, we'll write in the word Jew, and we're home free. So the Nazis then pull together all these American laws. We have the transcripts of these Nuremberg meetings. The book it's a window into history and a part of history that's not in our textbooks, but will be mind-blowing when people read it.
Why do they want to quash this?
They want to quash it because it spoils their meta story. Ultimately, the meta story is that the fascists are the Trumpsters. They're the right-wingers. The moment you see FDR, all the icons of progressivism in bed with Mussolini and early Hitler, it spoils their multicultural picnic.
Well, it's an eye-opening read, Dinesh. It really is. As I read some excerpts of the book, I found it to be quite eye-opening. Thanks so much. Appreciate you being here. The book is called The Big Lie. Dinesh D'Souza, available to you on Amazon and, of course, at all bookstores, exposing the Nazi roots of the American left.
To be honest, I got to get that book. I want to give it a read. It seems to go further in depth than what I've even have found. It is absolutely horrible once you start looking at the Democrat Party and looking through the history and looking really in depth on it, just how depraved that party is. So if we want to shut down any party, and now Dinesh D'Souza was tweeting it all day today, you want to start with covering up slavery and that bad time in our history. Let's ban the Democrat Party. Let's ban the party that was the party of slavery. Don't forget that Democrat politicians are the ones that put up these monuments to fellow Democrats that fought the war for them. And now you got Democrats wanting to hide from it, so they want to take down those statues and hide the history of exactly what went on. But of course we'll hear, but, Jersey, they switched parties. That is such full of shit. It's not funny. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, to change up the subject just a little bit, I like what Trump's doing here. I like how He's pissing the media off. Because what happens when you piss people off? They make mistakes. And what's going on with the media? They're freaking out. They're out there justifying why Antifa, whatever you want to call them, had the right to be violent. They're justifying violence. What he's doing is exposing the media, and not just the media, he's exposing the Democrat Party and forcing basically the Democrat Party to this hard left turn that's really, it's making them show their true faces. Making them show what they're truly about. Showing their violence. I mean, Trump is controlling them like a little puppet master. And he's like, dance for me, media, dance for me. And he's not like hiding it. He comes out and says, you guys are lying. You're getting caught at it. You're fake media. And they get all pissed off, start yelling at him. How dare he call us fake media? And then what do? They write a fake article about him, get caught, and prove that they're fake media. But I mean, I've heard in the media where they've denied that there's any violence from Antifa. It's not them. Or they justify the violence that's coming from Antifa/Antifa, whichever way you want to put it. I don't know. Maybe with him pointing out that they're fake news, they're taking it as a challenge. And they're trying to see just how far they could push it. We'll tell in November. And I still think we might see some new Republicans in office. I think there's going to be some Republicans that get their ass primaried. And I wish friggin' Rubio was up with his being a traitor. That man is a disgusting traitor. And if you're from the Florida area in his district, call. Don't scream, don't shout, don't threaten. Call and voice your displeasure with his actions. He works for us. He is supposed to do what we want him to do. And he's out there playing politics because he thinks he's going to be able to run for president. He's going to be president next. Yeah. He's getting filled with all this bullshit. Same thing Hillary was told. And we saw how that went. Yeah, but I don't know. It's an absolute joke what I see going on. It is a joke. This country is better than that. And the left just keeps dragging us further and further down. And they don't even have the guts to, stand up and say, yep, this is what the hell we're doing. They got to hide it and try to, play like it's somebody else. They don't have the balls to stand up and go, yep, it's up. This is what we're doing. If you're so proud of who you are and your actions, stand up to it. Stand up for it. Don't hide. Don't try to blame Trump for your actions. Bunch of pussies is what the Democrat Party is. Hiding behind cloak and dagger. I won't stand for KKK, but you know what? At least they come out and they show who they are. They don't hide it. At least you know who they are. I mean, I'd rather have them out in public talking and exposing themselves than hiding in the shadows and you don't know who the hell they actually are. So, these people are fucking idiots anymore. So I got a good kick today, a good laugh. And I was talking to my parents, and my mom was like, I was watching your Facebook Live show the other night, and there was some liberal. She goes, I think he was a liberal. All he would do is sit there and say how you're a liar, and you don't know what you're talking about. And I started laughing. She's like, how can you laugh at that? I couldn't take that. I was like, if I have that going on, with all that's going on, and they're coming after little old me, that means I'm hitting a goddamn nerve. That means I'm hitting it right. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just laughing about these goddamn idiots. You know, they come and make all these accusations, and then they kind of run and hide. They can't back them up. It's an absolute, it makes me laugh. I love it. Let's see where I'm at. Green Acres is the place to be. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, ex-IT aide, indicted on 4 counts. It's been reported that Imran Iwana, the former IT aide for former DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, has been indicted on 4 criminal counts along with his wife. Imran, whatever the hell his name is, Iwana, IT aide for Democrat Florida Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, was indicted Thursday on 4 counts, including bank fraud and making false statement. The indictment also includes his wife. I ain't going to try. The grand jury decision in U.S. District Court for District of Columbia comes roughly a month after Iwan tried to run away, was arrested at Dulles Airport in Virginia trying to board a plane to Pakistan, where his family is from. Now, he's not found guilty yet. It's just, he's been indicted. They're up to 4 charges, so and I'm sure there's more coming. This is just on the mortgage fraud, bank fraud. Now, we all were wondering how far it's going to go. We wonder where it was going to take us. Well, wonder no more, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of all ages, because now we know. Corporate-owned Vice magazine posted an article urging let's blow up Mount Rushmore, which called for American politics, culture, and history to be purified by political fire. You know, I said it the other night, and I have an article up later for it. I hate trying to compare to other groups, specifically Nazism. But take a look at what the Nazis did, ISIS and Taliban. They run around destroying history monuments, erasing it. If they don't like it, they remove those monuments. Now, look what the left is doing now. The Democrats, Antifa, whatever, Black Lives Matter, all these progressive groups on the left. What are they doing? The same things that Nazism did, Taliban, ISIS, and many other people that wound up on the wrong side of history. But now they want to blow up Mount Rushmore. And it's going, let's take us the righteous idea and beliefs and leave everything else on the pyre, says the article about Rushmore by Wilbert Cooper, who is a senior editor at Vice.com. The media company is part owned by Rupert Murdoch's 21st Century Fox and by A&E Network, which is fully owned by Hearst Communication and Disney ABC Television Group, according to Cooper. More than ever, old monuments to famous white American men are being threatened because the only way we can help America fulfill her promise is by shedding the faith and facing the truth. A big part of that process probably involves taking those men we placed on so high and bring them back down to earth where we could judge them for who they really were. As long as we allow those men to be cult of personality who exist beyond reproach, we're never going to be able to see them for all of their good and all of their evil. The article's headline was later changed to "Let's Get Rid of Mount Rushmore." Vice has deleted a tweet promoting the first headline. The company explains why it deleted the tweet and headline, saying, Cooper argues that the nation's historical markers and monument help preserve a political system of racial exploration and inequality and should be erased to help build a new society. To build a new society. Just like Obama said, tear us down and rebuild. We're going to go to break, and we're going to come back. We're going to jump back into this article and finish it up. But you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. Whoop, wrong one. Oh, bad. I was lazy last night, I guess. I swear sometimes I switch these over and little gremlins come in. But you're listening to the Reaver Comments right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying calf was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover has arrived, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday. Total brain fart. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, if you want to watch a broadcast, just go to Reaver.1 and click on the SHR TV button. Oh, where are we? Let me see. Where the distortion? No, don't need that. I need to find a new program. Something a little bit better for my green screen and running two different programs and a little bit better. So I can actually have on the screen, brain fart. The call-in number and all that. So, all right, let me get back to this article. And Cooper argues that the nation's historical markers and monument help preserve a political system of racial exploit and inequality and should be erased to help build a new society. That says it all right there. We could probably stop right there, and it says it all. They want to build a new society. It's hard to be critical of a system when the system becomes an article of faith filled with myths on the cherry tree, deities, founding fathers, and notions of salvation, the city on the hill. It's going to be impossible to improve America if we can't be honest about its origins and its past. Her fruit is born from violence and greed and watered by the blood of my ancestors. That just says it all right there. If you hate the country that bad, if you think it's that despicable, just go find a country that you love. Russia will take you. I'm sure North Korea will take you. Cooper downplays Americans' political, cultural, economic, and technology contributions to the world, and he also ignores near-term debates about investment, wages, immigration reform, education improvement, economical opportunities, and much else in favor of high emotional campaigns to erase historical symbols on the nation's boulevard. He also forgets to mention or think about that we are the only nation, the only goddamn nation, that to end slavery, we went to war with itself. We fought to end slavery. This big evil thing that they always love to shove in our face was ended by white men going to war alongside fellow black men. Brothers versus brothers, just relatives versus relatives. I'm so sick of that bullshit. There's still slavery in the Middle East. There's still slavery in Asia. There's still slavery in Africa. But they want to keep talking about 250 goddamn years ago, or however fucking long you want to talk about. Right now my math's a little bit off my head. But you get the gist of what I'm talking about. We went to war and ended it. But no. We keep throwing that up. But they forget to talk about the war that we fought, the blood we shed to end it. And now they back the party that was behind all of that. That's the ironical part. That is the cherry on top. They backed the party that caused all that shit. Then they want to talk about history as they backed the party that caused it? Get the fuck out of here. Just another talking point they're going on about. They're trying to cover up over goddamn Russia. It's falling apart, that whole goddamn myth. And there was collusion and colluding, and oh my god, he worked, and he's the puppet. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he's a racist. Oh my god, Russia or Germany, Nazis taking over. Nazis are taking over. Get the fuck out of here. You've claimed that there has been You have claimed since day one that the end of the world was coming with Trump. The end of the world. Every goddamn, it's the end of the world. Oh, my God, Russia, they're going to take over. Oh, my God, no, that story fell through. Oh, my God, it's racism. He's racist. Oh, he's going to put everybody back in slavery. Fuck off. High school drama is what the Democrat Party is about. They sound like a bunch of teenage kids, all full of drama. Maybe my wife's right getting involved in all this shit. It's a goddamn joke anymore. It's nothing but high school drama with them. Oh, he dared point out that both sides in Charlottesville, Virginia, were at fault. Oh, my God. Pointing the blame at both sides. There's a goddamn Nile. He's not sitting there going, it's only Black Lives Matter and it's only Antifa's fault. That's it. No. He's going, both sides caused this problem. And they did. That's not racism, but that's the only thing the left has. That's the only thing they've had for a long time. Racism, racist, 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 y'all racist. You're a one-trick pony, Democrat Party. You're a one-trick pony. And you're showing your true colors every single day. How much of a piece of shit anti-American organization you really are. And it's scary because you do have Americans that are backing you, that believe in you. I don't know if that's stupid on them or what, but you know what? It's so sickening what that party has turned into, what it is now, what it's been. They want to blame everybody else for their fucking mistakes. Sounds like a 5-year-old. Johnny did it, not me. Why do you have paint all over you? Johnny did it. Johnny doesn't have any paint on him. It's Johnny's fault. You painted the wall. Johnny told me to. Johnny tricked me to. That's what they sound like. Always blaming anybody and everybody else. Both sides of this incident in Charlottesville are at fault. How is that being racist from Trump? How is that being racist? I mean, they'll come up with some bullshit reason. I know they will. Well, you see, if the sun's revolving around the earth, then I see a dog walking down the road. I'm just so sickened. So sickened by what I'm seeing in this country. And it's asinine. Trump and his white supremacist cohorts believe the reverence some Americans have for these statues is simply respect for history, and that tearing them down is tantamount to ripping pages out of a textbook. And you think by tearing down, you're hiding our history? You're hiding what your party did? I just get so sick of them trying to justify their disgusting, revolting actions. I don't know. GOP Senator Scott. Man, it's just, I can't believe he fell for it. I can't believe he fell for him. During an interview with Vice News on Thursday, well, this is Vice, so I'm hoping it's being misquoted or taken out of context, says that President Donald Trump's comment on Tuesday about the violence that took place last week at Charlottesville, VA, have compromised his moral authority. Scott said, I'm not going to defend the indefensible. I'm not here to do that. He continued, his comments on Monday were strong. His comments on Tuesday started erasing the comments that were strong. what we want to see from our president is clarity and moral authority, and that the moral authority is compromised when Tuesday happened. There's no question about it. He didn't compromise anything. He clarified to make sure everybody understood he was denouncing, the KKK and neo-Nazis. But he was also pointing out that both sides were at fucking fault. What's so hard to understand? It seems these jackasses in the Washington, D.C. area, they got this, mental disorder that they can't understand that both sides were at fault. The KKK and the white supremacists had a permit to have a freedom of speech, which is granted to everybody. Permit to talk. Black Lives Matter. Antifa showed up, ready for violence and start shit. The cops helped push that along, and you see what we have. All those bullshit lies. Well, they had weapons. They were carrying AK-47s on their back. They were carrying along. There's no pictures. Cops have said nobody was doing that. No weapons of anything have been found from the white supremacists. I don't like what they have to say. Guess what? I don't go listen. By giving them all this fucking airtime, you've given them a platform. You know what would happen? You know what would happen if Soros and his paid groups didn't show up? These little assholes would have went, said their piece about a statute, and left. None of the news would have touched it. They would have gotten zero airtime. And Heather Hayes would still be alive. And 19 other people would be uninjured. But no, here comes Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Everybody knew what was going to happen, and the police sat there with their thumbs up their ass. It's disgusting. I mean, the hell are they trying to do to that helicopter? It's just... Now you got GOP Senator Corker. Trump has not demonstrated stability or competence. Yeah, he has. He's the one that has had the balls to go out there and point out that Antifa is a violent group. I can't believe there's fucking Republicans hiding behind Democrats, protecting Antifa. That's scary as hell. That we have Republicans protecting Antifa. You talk to the people, the actual people, and they have no problem with what Trump said. In fact, they cheered when he said both sides, when he pointed out Antifa and Black Lives Matter were violent. I'm pretty sure people cheered. Because finally someone called out exactly what's going on in the real world. And we're sick of it. We're sick of them being protected and coddled. Why shouldn't they be called out? You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catherine is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Why did that get turned all the way down? That's weird. All right. I'm tearing my studio apart as I do the broadcast because I'm missing a flash drive. I got a computer I'm updating, redoing, and I need to do the Windows file, so I figured I'll do the show. I'll burn that onto a thumb drive as I'm doing the show, and lo and behold, I can't goddamn find my thumb drive. Huh. Typical. Can't find stuff when you want it. Don't forget also 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's the end of the Reaver of Common Sense show. It will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by the great BZ. Remember, the speech is free and the drinks cost way too much, but it's well worth it. Marco Rubio has flunked the free speech test again. Rubio unleashed a tweet storm on Tuesday evening in reaction to President Donald Trump's press conference earlier in the day, blasting the president for suggesting both sides were to blame in Charlottesville. Rubio declared that the white supremacist group who demonstrated against the removal of a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee were 100% to blame for the violence that ensued, even though they were attacked by left-wing Antifa rioters. Over a series of 6 tweets, Rubio argued that white supremacist beliefs led to violence, and that assigning blame to those who attacked them would be counted as a win for the white supremacist ideology. Oh, man. Fucking Eagle. Don't tell me you did a national anthem protest. No. Why can't they leave that alone? So Marco Rubio tweeted, the organizers of the event, which inspired and led to the Charlottesville terrorist attack, are 100% to blame for a number of reasons. They are adherent of an evil ideology which argues certain people are inferior because of race, ethnicity, or nation of origin. You mean like Black Lives Matter? Not all lives matter. Black Lives Matter. Okay. I see where you're talking at, Rubio. What a jackass. When entire movements built on anger and hate towards people different than you, it justifies and ultimately leads to violence against them. So, as long as we can say that we're angry and hatred is caused by their movement, we have a right to be violent. That is what this jackass just did. He had justified violence because people are mad. How fucking stupid are you, Rubio? You just showed you're not mature enough to be a senator. God, how dumb are you? These groups today use same symbols and same arguments of Nazis and KKK, groups responsible for some of the worst crimes against humanity ever. Okay. Did they... Mr. President, you can't allow white supremacists to share only part of the blame. They support ideas which cost nations and worlds so much pain. And Antifa isn't. They are burning down stores. They are hurting people. They're throwing Coke cans filled with concrete. They're throwing rocks and hitting people in the head, severely injuring them. Now, I know that doesn't totally equal what the KKK and Nazi did. I'm not saying it's equal. They went there looking for a fight. Rubio, you're bowing down. You're starting to sound more like a goddamn Democrat anymore. Well, actually, you always did, except when you were running because you wanted to get elected and you ran as a Tea Party member. You're a Tea Party member. I'm fucking Susan B. Anthony. And then the last one is, the white supremacy group will see being assigned only 50% of the blame as a win. We cannot not allow this evil to be resurrected. And allowing Antifa to take none of the fucking blame, you jackass, gives them a win and gives them a backing that when they don't like something and they're mad, they could be violent. You fucking moron. God, what an idiot. Oh, giving blame says they win. And when you give someone no blame, you're giving them the win. and giving them justification to do it again. What, next time, because they don't like that I have blonde hair, that offends them, they can beat me up and my family up, Rubio? They are no different than the white supremacist groups. They are no different than the Nazis. These neo-Nazi groups, I should say. You are justifying their actions and giving them justification to do it again. And their justification came one time already when they shot at you guys, when they shot at the GOP practicing baseball. Same people, you moron. Are you going to justify that? You have what they think you are, the white supremacists. So if they beat the shit out of you, can we just sit there and then back down and go, well, you know, they were justified in it. They think you're a white supremacist, so, you know, you bear all the blame, Marco Rubio. Who cares what your nationality is? They think you're a white supremacist. And you know what? No, I'll still go after them, even though I don't like your dumb ass. He's supposed to be, a senator. You're supposed to be up there protecting the Constitution. At no point did Rubio acknowledge that the First Amendment protects all Americans, regardless of how offensive their views are. Nor did he assign any blame at all to the left-wing Antifa activists who brought weapons with which to shut down the demonstration by force. Weapons that were also used against reporters covering the scene. What about the reporter that was attacked? I think there was 2 of them. Are you justifying that, Rubio? Are you justifying the attack of the freedom of the press, too? I know I'm yelling and I apologize, but this shit pisses me off. No, I do not support. I will keep saying I do not support what these idiots have to say. But I will defend their right to say it. What's right is right. And if they would have went there with weapons to shut down Black Lives Matter, I'd be standing up for Black Lives Matter right now. If the KKK and neo-Nazis went there with weapons to shut down Antifa, I would still defend Antifa. But I see Rubio hiding, trying to look good for Democrats, trying to look good for the liberals. Ever since he got reelected for a 6-year term, he sounds like a fucking liberal. You're a joke, Mr. Rubio. You're a joke. And you don't deserve the position or the respect. And it's not the first time that Rubio failed to defend the right of free speech and assembly and accused of violence of the radical left by shifting blame to Donald Trump. In March 2016, when organized left-wing activists in Chicago rioted and caused Donald Trump's rally to be canceled by police before it began, Rubio told reporters words have consequences, and that Trump was to blame because of the rhetoric he had used in the past. And what he said was, it shouldn't surprise us that you see a growing amount of violence at some of his events. I would point out there isn't violence at my events. There isn't violence at Ted Cruz events. There isn't violence at John Kasich event. There isn't violence at Bernie Sanders' event. There isn't violence at Hillary Clinton's event. There's only one presidential candidate who has violence at their event. And I do think Donald needs to realize and take responsibility for the fact that some of the rhetoric he has used could potentially be contributing to this environment. This is a growing, increasingly disturbing for a growing number of Americans. Rubio, who rose to national prominence by styling himself as a Constitution-loving conservative in the Tea Party vein, could not bring himself to recognize the constitutional right of Donald Trump and his supporters as paramount. The group behind the effort to shut down Trump's rally in Chicago were not shy about claiming credit. Organizers supporting the Bernie Sanders campaign congratulated the rioters on Twitter. Remember, the Trump rally wasn't just luck. It took organizers from dozens of organizations and thousands of people to pull off. Great work. MSNBC reported that activists tapped into existing networks of pro-Bernie Sanders and Black Lives Matter activists to stop the event from happening. The shutdown enjoyed positive coverage throughout the mainstream media. Several months later, it was revealed that much of the violence that occurred on the fringe of Trump's rallies and at other Republican events had been deliberately incited by Democrat activists as part of a tactic called bird dogging. The mastermind behind the tactic was Chicago native Robert Kramer, working as a consultant for the Democrat National Committee in the Hillary Clinton campaign. The violence was intended to create a sense of anarchy around the Trump campaign, and Rubio, rather than standing up for free speech, played into their hand, and he's fucking doing it again. Because when this all comes out, I bet you in a couple of months, it's going to be a goddamn setup. The organizer was an Obama supporter. Oh, what the hell was that? Can't remember what the hell it was. The Wall Street protest they did. That was that guy. Now all of a sudden, he's a white supremacist holding events. If you don't see something's fishy there, you got blinders on. And Rubio is playing right into their hands to kiss ass and try to look good. I urge all my listeners that are in the Tampa area, all my listeners that are in Rubio's district, flood his phone number. Do not threaten. None of that. But tell him how you're not happy with his turning his back on freedom of speech and freedom of the press like he has. Hang on. Let me see if I could pull it up. Marco Rubio's phone number for Washington, D.C. is 202-224-3041. Make sure you let him know how you feel about him turning his back on the Constitution. How he justifies violence like a liberal would. The one thing that can be said for Rubio is that he is at least consistent in his view that freedom of speech is not a fundamental right. But if words have consequences, his words are likely to encourage left-wing thugs to persist in attacking people with whom they disagree. It is a tactic directly at odds with the civil rights tradition of protest, which used the moral force of nonviolence to defeat segregation. In that sense, the moral failure is Rubio's own. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news, according to the latest report coming out of SHR Media a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media, has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catholic is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a live broadcast, well, it's easy. Damn easy. I keep forgetting the other way to do it now, too. You can go to Reaver.one, hit the SHR TV button, or go to Facebook. Well, you should be on Jersey Joe's, Reaver of Common Sense Facebook page. Go there, which is at Jersey Joe Talks, and I have the Facebook Live that I've been doing. I have that back up and running, and it's running pretty good of late. So there's multiple ways to listen and watch. So, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. It's... There is so many of these joke of GOP member that'll turn their backs on anybody in the heartbeat. Now, you got to give Democrats one credit. They stick together. Pretty much they stick together. Lately, they've been coming unglued, but they got a lot of problems going on. So, yes, they've been kind of coming unglued, but I'm not justifying it. Just I could see why and how. Oh, it amazes me how quickly they turn on each other. Trying to see something. Oh. Hang on. All right, I had to send someone a message real quick. Oh, and for those wondering, I actually found the thumb drive. I finally found it during the break. I'm still amazed that Rubio has done this. But Missouri Democrat state senator says she hopes Trump is assassinated. Now, this Facebook posting has been deleted since then, but there's pictures all over. I mean, it's not hard to find them, but ouch. Democrat state senator in Missouri is facing resignation calls for posting on Facebook Thursday that she hopes President Trump is assassinated. And it's, quote, "I hope Trump is assassinated," said State Senator Maria Capella Nadal. Capella Nadal eventually deleted the post, but a screenshot was saved and shared on Twitter. And it's, I think, a Christopher Gagne, whichever way it's pronounced. "Maria, I wonder what my cousin is thinking now. He's on Trump's Secret Service detail. You have to sign up for 6 years. He did his first 4 with Obama and has 2 to go with this idiot. But what I posted earlier, I truly believe will happen sooner, not later." Christopher Gagne. Then, damn, now I'll probably get a visit from the Secret Service. And Maria Capella Nadal puts, "No, I will. I hope Trump gets assassinated." In an interview with local outlets, Chappelle Nadal said she regretted her post, but not her anger at the president. She blamed her outburst on the president's response to the white supremacist violence in Charlottesville. Now, here's the thing. I have heard from a lot of black people, and a lot of them say what he said was perfect. They have no issue. They don't think there was any undertone of racism, nothing. And then you have another group. Oh, it just shows how racist he is. How dare he stand up and show that both sides are being violent. Oh, playing the victim again. I posted something on my personal Facebook. I should not have done that. And for that, I am sorry for that. But I am not going to shy away from what caused that anger at all. I'm not going to shy away from that. You called for the assassination of a president. You called for the assassination of a president, and you are a senator? A state senator? The Secret Service told St. Louis Post-Dispatch it is investigating the post. Meanwhile, top Missouri Democrats, including Senate Carol McCaskill and the chairman of the Missouri Democrat Party, are calling for Chappelle Nadal to resign. I condemn it. McCaskill told the Post-Dispatch, it's outrageous and she should resign. Missouri Party Chair Stephen Weber called Chappelle Nadell's comment indefensible, and I believe she should resign. But Chappelle told KMOX Radio she won't quit. There's no way in hell that I'm resigning, she said. See, Democrats hold everybody to a certain standard, and then they have their standard, which is none. Zero. Nothing. If this had been a senator, a state senator calling for assassination of Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, or even if it was Hillary Clinton, that Republican would have had to have resigned by now. But of course, the left, will not live up to their standard. And that's the problem that they're having right now. Because part of the rules for radical is you have to live up to that standard. You do. And they're not. And that's going to bite them in the ass because people are seeing it. They're seeing the ridiculousness of all this. Come on, play. People see it. And people don't forget. And you're going to see come election time. You're going to see come election time. The people are going to turn their backs. Oh, I got to play this. I know I'm playing these little clips here and there a lot lately, but this one I love. This is a black gentleman, and then there's a white woman in the middle of the road. Lock him up talking about Trump. Now, this was during the campaign season, and it's a large group, especially whites, and they were calling Trump racist, and this black gentleman walks up. And let's listen to what he has to say. Oop. I forgot I turned the sound off. Woo-hoo. Damn it. I'm having some issues.
Fucking problem, right? Oh my God, look at this racially inspired group from Donald Trump. No, I haven't been practicing. This is what I live. This is what I breathe. This is what I live in. I'm being honest with you.
And she turned around and accused him of practicing this.
You allow Black Lives Matter on campus, but you don't allow white power on campus. Why not? It's the same shit. Both are hate group, and neither are productive. So if you denounce the one, denounce the other. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. That's what it is. I'm being honest with you, bro. I'm being honest with you.
Post? Are you kidding me?
Let me tell you something. Listen, but let me be honest with you. I just want to say this, right? I want to tell you something right now.
She says it's so absurd, so she won't engage with him. So she's not going to talk to a black man that's disagreeing with her because it's absurd. How dare he speak against the snobbish white woman? Because she's on the left. She's more intelligent than everybody else.
But let me be honest with you. I just want to say this, right? I want to tell you something right now. African Americans make up 13% of the population, yet commit over 50% of the violent gun and drug crime in the United States.
And you don't think there's a problem with those?
No, that's true. It's 55%.
Okay.
Right? So 95% of that is to other blacks. So me as an African American, I have a 2,000 time more likelihood to be shot and killed by another black man leaving this event than I do by a white person, a police officer, or a neo-Nazi.
So you don't think that's a
2,000 times more percent. I mean, we're killing us as African Americans. We're killing each other. That's what the real fucking problem is.
Yo, this is a reverse mirror. She supposed to be talking.
I'm being honest with you. That's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. This is me and my brother right here. We got to stand together, man.
And she turns out this is absurd.
Listen,
and she walks away.
If Obama would have stood up and said, "Look, we're killing each other. We've got a problem within the African American community," he would have been phenomenal. But he's going to make it white people and of course she walked away. Yeah, nothing there. You left, man. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest.
And that's exactly what's going on with the Democrat Party. You hit them with facts like that, and they got to walk away because there's nothing they can say or do about it. They can't fight facts. It's ridiculous. And then you have Black Lives Matter there starting a lot of the problems, along with Antifa. So I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to put up with that shit. I'm going to call it out. And if you want to be a part of those groups, I'm calling out the white supremacists for their bullshit. But what they did Saturday, they had a legal right to do. Because where do you start saying offensive is? Where do you draw the line at offensive? Because, fine, we outlaw certain offensive language, certain hate speech, and the liberals will keep writing it to only they can speak. Or we can only say what they want to hear. And that's what we're heading towards. And that's what I find despicable. Oh, man, it blood pressure going up. I asked this someone else, and I was like, what's up? They're like, my blood pressure in the scale. I was like, fuck. And this is what's going on in our country. You can't have conversation. She couldn't sit there and talk to him. No, she had to walk away. This is absurd. This is absurd. You want white privilege? There's white privilege on that bitch. This is absurd. How dare he talk to me this way? And then she tried changing the subject when it was brought out that 95% of black violence is committed by other blacks. You don't see a problem with that? And he's like, yes. That's what the whole argument is. But then you want to sit there and make it sound like police, whites, are doing all the killing of the blacks. They got all the to be scared of fellow whites. No. 95% of the blacks that are killed by other blacks. That is a problem. And do the Democrats want to talk about that? No. They hide from that. They cover it up. They don't want to solve the situation. Why? Because deep down inside, Democrats are the goddamn racists. They don't want to solve the situation. They don't want to stop the problem. It's a goddamn joke what's going on out there. Damn it, I'm hearing little dings like something on my cell phone or my tablet. And I'm right here. There's no alerts. I've had it to like up here with all this bullshit. I've had it. It's a goddamn joke anymore. It's a disgusting joke. And the Democrats don't want to have conversations because they can't have the conversations. So they make a lot of wild accusations to try to stop conversations from actually happening. Okay. Got a weird goddamn email. I guess someone got a hold of my old email address. And we're getting about that time for a break. We're going to head a couple seconds early. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. And we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm still used to saying the old time. I still am. I'm going to play another clip. This is from CBS, and basically, they got blasted because one day's coverage was everything negative Trump and about Charlottesville. So they ended up getting three women that are pro-Trump, 2 black and a white woman. Now, it's funny to listen to them talk because you know they're shitting their pants going, what the hell? All right.
But 68% of Republicans think the president is accurate. Mark Strassman spoke with 3 women who continue to support President Trump.
When you saw Charlottesville, what went through your mind?
The writing's been on the wall for years. I'm just waiting for the Civil War to start.
It wasn't necessarily a completely black-white issue, but I think that the media is turning it into a black-white issue.
You can't erase history. You know, what are we? I mean, when do you draw the line? You know, did we now tear down Mount Rushmore?
What do you think of the president's response? Was it appropriate?
He did come out and he condemned it. But how many more times is he going to have to condemn it?
When the president said there are fine people on both sides.
When you have agitators on both sides, what do you expect to happen?
But shouldn't the leader of the country be setting a certain tone?
Do you think he hasn't? The man has been in office for 200 days, and he's getting blamed for stuff that started 3, 4, 5 years ago.
I don't look at him as, you know, my pastor or my moral leader. I look at him as the leader as it relates to governmental issues.
We're not looking for somebody charming. We're looking for a man who knows how to turn things around, and he's got a track record of turning things around.
All the women agree that more needs to be done to stop violent confrontations from happening.
Now what's messed up is my video froze up, sort of froze up, and it was like in this little like split-second loop of just, all I saw was the guy's eyelids just blinking. It's like, what the fuck is up with this guy? But they're dead on. I mean, how many times does he have to condemn? No matter what he said, it was never going to be good enough for the media. The media was going to come out on him. He admitted there's good people on both sides. Not everybody that was there for the protest was a white supremacist. And both sides are to blame. And the cops are to blame, too. And the government. I think this all was fucking set up because they got to cover something up. And that's all they want to talk about now. Do they want to talk about Russia? No. Hey, BZ. They don't want to talk Russia. Why? Because it's falling apart. When you got the National or the Nation, which is it? I forget which now. Being a little lazy, don't feel like looking it up. When they go and write an article and tear apart the Russia story, and they tear apart the Russia hacked, and they put out, basically, they show the data that it was internally done. Yeah, Russia's falling apart. And now the Democrats are sitting there going, shit, we're going to look like a bunch of idiots. You know, they're still going to try to poke the bear with it, but they got to change the subject, so they're going to make a big issue out of this. They probably thought, you know, they didn't expect anybody to die. That's one thing. But, you know they're going to try to use that to their advantage. See, look how dangerous he is. But, yeah, don't forget to call Marco Rubio if you're in the district. Call your senators that are turning their back on the president. You know, for Rubio, it's 202-224-3041. Again, do not threaten. Do not curse. Just talk and tell him how you feel. That you don't appreciate that he's turned his back on the Constitution. Coming up next, top of the hour, is the BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon with the famous BZ. I don't know what he's got planned, but, well, it always turns out to be a great show when it comes to BZ. So, BZ, I got to admit, I kept seeing your mic. And I loved it. Now, I think you got the 55E. I was able to get my hands on a very decent price. Was it a Shure Super 55? I had to get it. I'm sorry, bud, but I had to get it. Yours looks so nice. So, yes, I'm copying off BZ when it comes to that. I also heard it's a really great microphone, so caught it real cheap, too, so. Yeah, the classic 55, yep. I was able to get this at a really good price, so I couldn't turn my back on that. But the Super looks pretty good, too. And I've read a lot of good reviews, so I'm hoping it sounds as good as it looks. Now I got to change my whole mic stand setup for it. That's going to be like shit. I've been sitting here thinking, going, how am I going to change? How am I going to mount? Oh, crap. What am I going to do now? So, just an update. We know that, back in beginning of July, Democrats had filed for impeachment. Well, on Thursday, Representative Steve Cohen, a Democrat from Tennessee, has taken the first steps towards implementing impeachment articles against Trump for his remarks on the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. Yeah, I figured that. I had a bad feeling, so I'm going to have to figure out how to remount it. Cohen claims that Trump supported white supremacists in the deadly rally Saturday when the president condemned violence on both sides following the attack. How the hell do you come up with he's supporting white supremacists when he condemned both sides? How? It doesn't add up to me. It doesn't add up. Instead of unequivocally condemning hateful actions by neo-Nazis and white supremacists and Klansmen following a national tragedy, the president said there was a very fine people on both sides. There are good Nazis, there are not good, there are no good Klansmen, Cohen said. Oh, crap. Check. What is... crap. Check. Check. Hey. Shit. Alright. My mic totally cut out there. And that's the other thing. Lately, this mic, and I don't know why, will just cut out. And I don't know if it's the board or if it's the microphone. But there were people there that were there to support the monument. They weren't neo-Nazis, they weren't white supremacists, none of that. So yes, there were some fine people on both sides. There were some people that didn't agree with the monuments that were there to counter-protest. They weren't there for violence. Those that went there for violence is the one that he's pointing out. He's not saying they're taking things and they're coming up with their own explanation way beyond the truth, way beyond what even could be said. I mean, they've become so hysterical. I think it's Maxine Waters said that if North Korea had launched nukes at us, our president would have gotten us into a war. And it's like, really? Would you expect us to sit here and take a nuclear pounding and not do nothing? That just shows the idiocy of the left is being exposed. And that's what Donald Trump, I think, is doing. He is exposing not only the media that I talked about at the beginning of the show, he's exposing the media for what they truly are. He's exposing the Democrats for what they truly are. You know, it's unbelievable. I can't believe that so many so blindly. But it's just funny. Well, if North Korea launched nuclear weapons at us, he would get us into a war. Of course! Are we supposed to sit there and take North Korea firing nuclear weapons at us without doing anything? And like BZ said, they said the same of Reagan. It's the fear-mongering of the left. It's some of their go-tos. When they don't have facts on their side, when they don't have reality on their side, they go to racism, xenophobias, and racist and fear-mongering. Oh, my God, we're going to be dead any day now. He's going to kill us. That's all they have. How many days have we heard that Trump is going to kill us any day now? That he's going to allow Russia to take us over. He's going to allow, all these countries to take us over. He's going to sell us off. Global warming is going to destroy us any day now because of Trump. Every day it's something new. And now we have 2 impeachments. The Democrats are imploding. They've bought into their own bullshit, and they're just hysterical. I mean, I said it before, and I'll say it again. When I first heard the term Trump derangement syndrome, it was funny. It was a joke. But it's turning into a real syndrome. These people are going mad at trying to defeat him. And Trump's always, it seems like, 10, 20 steps ahead of them. And he knows how to set them off and piss them off. Because when you do that, like I said earlier, when someone gets mad like they are, they're going to make mistakes. I don't know. I can't believe they've lost their mind that bad. They've lost it. They cannot control their stupidity. I don't know. It's funny. Now, I mean, this isn't funny, but it's the irony funny I'm talking about, not like a comedy funny. Cohen added that he plans to start the impeachment process against Trump because he feels the president failed the presidential test of moral leadership. Cohen is the second Democrat to file articles of impeachment against Trump. Representative Brad Sherman initiated articles of impeachment against Trump in July, alleging the president obstructed justice during the federal investigation into alleged Russian interference in 2016 election. Al Green, who was one of the first House members to call for Trump's impeachment, is the only representative who endorsed Sherman's resolution. 2 other Democrats in the House also called for Trump's impeachment following a statement on Charlottesville, but stopped short of taking action. Representative Gwen Moore and Representative Jackie Speer called for Trump to be removed from office, with Speer adding that the 25th Amendment that allows Congress to initiate impeachment proceedings be invoked against Trump. Here they go again, the 25th. That pipe dream. They are helping the Republicans with so many sound clips for the 2018 midterm elections. If we do not keep the House and we do not get supermajority in the Senate, Democrats will impeach President Trump. That's all they need to run. That's all they need to run. Well, maybe a little bit more. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean by it. And that's what the top of the Democrat Party, Pelosi and Schumer, have been telling them to shut their mouths on it, to knock it off, because you're going to give them campaign opportunities. And they're just giving it to them hand over fist. Here you go. It's like they want to implode. They're not even trying to dig themselves out of their hole. I don't know. Can they really be that stupid? I mean, they're supposed to be well educated. Can they really be that stupid? I don't know. I want to say no, but something tells me it's definitely a yes. It's definitely a yes. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catholic, stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, top of the hour, about 15 minutes from now, will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by the famous BZ himself. Remember, the speech is free, but the drinks cost about 20 times more. So, watch out for those drinks. He makes them kind of powerful, though. He tries to liquor you up. Tries to kiss your butt. So, watch out for those drinks, everybody. All right. American left has adopted Taliban tactic in destruction of historical icons. Not just Taliban. Multiple groups have done this through history. Nazis, ISIS, Taliban. And as the American left targets historic icons for removal and or destruction, one of the reminders of the way the Taliban destroyed century-old Buddhist statues and Islamic State's ongoing violence against Christian churches and landmarks. In short, the American left, the Taliban, and ISIS hold two things in common. First, an inability to appreciate the whole of history as it happened, which includes good times and bad. And secondly, a tendency to express this lack of appreciation via violence and destruction. For example, on March 12, 2001, the Telegraph reported that the world's two largest standing Buddhas, one of them 165 feet high, was blown up by the Taliban in Afghanistan. The statues were 1,700 years old, yet the Taliban drilled holes into the torsos of the two statues and then placed dynamite charges inside the holes to blow them up. Taliban foreign minister said, "We do admit the relics were the cultural heritage of Afghanistan, but the part that contradicts our Islamic beliefs, we would not like to have them anymore." In a similar vein, following the toppling of the Confederate statue in Durham, North Carolina, Worker Party member, say that with me, Workers' World Party member. Workers' World Party member. What does that immediately make you think of? I don't know about you, but I think communism immediately. Immediately, I think of communism when I hear of Workers' World Party. Remember, Wildman said, if the people decide they want to remove such a statue, that should be their right, according to CNN. And National Geographic shows that the tactic of destroying history has been a big part of the Islamic State methods of operation. The Islamic State destroyed the ancient ruins of Palmyra, consisting of colonnade avenues and impressive temples. This includes one temple which has endured for 1,900 years, only to be blown to bits in August of 2015. National Geographic also reported that Islamic State destroyed the Roman trading center of Apamea, and the Greek settlement of Dura Europos. I know I'm butchering those names, so please bear with me. Dura Europos was located on the Euphrates River, and it was home to the world's oldest known Christian church. It is now home to cratered landscape. It goes on. There's in Mosul, Iraq, had a cultural history that flourished between 900 and 600 BC. But when Islamic State conquered Mosul in 2014, they raided the artifact, destroyed statues, and looting much of what they did not destroy. Eventually, Mosul University Library was burned, and the city's central public library was rigged with explosives and razed, together with thousands of manuscripts and instruments used by Arab scientists. The similar motivation between all these variations, destructive tendency, especially targeting of library, begs a question that radio talk host Laura Ingraham has already asked. Real Clear Politics quoted Ingraham saying, "What else will be subject to the America's left eradication? What about books? Are they going to start burning books too?" It's scary as hell. They're right there. If it's something they don't agree with, they want it destroyed. They think they're justified, so they can do whatever they want. That is not the America that I want for my daughter. And it's so scary, but yeah, because there is books that were written, all different books that were written depicting this type of a country. And everybody thought, oh my God, that's science fiction. That'll never happen. We have rules to keep that from happening. Yet here we are. And we have senators on both sides that look around and go, what? Huh? You have a statue of Abraham Lincoln has been vandalized in Chicago. The most dumbfounding vandalism of the year, somebody set an Abraham Lincoln statue on fire in Chicago on Wednesday. The monument has stood at 69th and Wilcott Street since it was erected in 1926. It is now blackened by fire. By all appearances, somebody dumped accelerant on the bus and then lit it on fire. According to Alderman Lopez, Chicago PD is investigating who committed the act and what their motivation was. I'll give you 2 hints what their motivation was. You have people that are now on the left trying to teach that Lincoln was a racist warmonger. You have some that say he wasn't in the Republican Party. Some say he was a Democrat. You know, there's all different things going about Abraham Lincoln. But truth be, Abraham Lincoln, who led the Union to victory in the Civil War and ended slavery, appears to be the unlikely target of vandalism. At least that's what I would think. Based on the comment of some of the locals, Abraham Lincoln was a racist who said a lot of racist shit. James Shea Smith, Abraham Lincoln freed slaves to preserve the Union. He has been quoted saying he didn't feel people of color should be treated equal to whites. Basically, I don't think you should be slaves, but you're still no shit to me and plenty other racist shit. Know your history. Also, if you stand up for Abe Lincoln, you're now a suspected racist. A Quentin Mitchell, fuck Abraham Lincoln. He ain't mess with black folks like that, no way. The Democrat someone else, Colleen Ray Mason. The Democrat Party was the party who created the KKK, and it was fuck the Democrats too, Quentin put. Diane Ritter Dawson, asshole, he's the one that freed the slaves. Quentin Mitchell, he didn't free the slaves because he thought it was the right thing to do. Do some research. Quentin Mitchell, doesn't matter. What he did was the right thing to do. Fuck him, end quote. Ain't got nothing else to say to suspected racists. Some comments were, technically the statue could be considered to be in the classification of Civil War monuments. I don't know, BZ. I don't know. I think what the left is doing is pissing a lot of people off. And I think right now the Democrat Party is burning a lot of bridges and just going down a rabbit hole that they shouldn't go down. I'm not trying to help the Democrat Party, but I think the Democrat Party is going down a rabbit hole and they're pissing more people off, especially the statue incident. It's pissing too many people off. I don't know. They're rewriting history and just their actions of not pointing out that they're protecting Antifa or Antifa, whichever way you want to say it. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Oh, yeah, McCain. Oh, hell yeah. I think he's in trouble. I thought Jeff Flake is in trouble. Is Lindsey Graham up for vote? If so, he's in trouble. Yeah, those likes of GOP, but I think where they're in trouble is they're going to get their ass primaried. Last I saw with Jeff Flake, he is at like a 16% approval rating. He's in trouble big time. And he just keeps running his mouth. Sorry, BZ, I misunderstood what you said. My apologies. But I think the Democrat Party, they're digging themselves in such a hole, and they're not stopping. They're not doing anything to stop the bleeding, the flooding, whichever term you want to use. And they just keep going. And with all the second impeachment articles that they put in, it's just giving Republicans. Yeah, new blood is needed. And I said it actually at the beginning of the show that I think the way it's going, GOP is going to have supermajority in both houses, and you're going to see a lot of new blood. I actually said that at the beginning of the show. I think you're going to see a lot of new blood. And it's... McCain had his time. He's 80. Brain cancer. It's time for him to go. His days, not his mortal life, his political career is done and gone. Same with Harry Reid. His time was gone. These older people, Pelosi is going to need to walk away soon before the party dumps her ass. But I don't want her to go because she's been helping the Republican Party a whole hell of a lot. Best thing that ever happened to the Republican Party was Nancy Pelosi. Well, next to Trump. I know a lot of people are still upset the way he talks. Republican Party didn't learn anything from the losses. And even though they were winning some House seats in the Senate, they did not learn anything from the loss of 2012 of the presidency. They didn't learn anything. Trump came in and he just barreled through and overtook the party. And they got to learn that's what the people want. They don't want politicians anymore. And I mean, we don't need a bunch of foul-mouthed, wisecracking people like Trump. Oh, I want to get this in before the end of the show. Let me just throw this in. CNN Blitzer describing the Barcelona attack. I know I didn't talk about it. 4 suspects dead as police stop a second attack in Cantalona beach town. 13 people dead, 100 injured. And when it first happened, Wolf Blitzer said this is a copycat of Charlottesville attack. That the terrorists were copying the Charlottesville attack. When ISIS has been using these tactics for years now. So now they're going to try to blame this on Trump. Hey, Mary. They're going to try to blame this attack on Trump. It's absolutely sickening. I'll try to get more of that in tomorrow's show. Oh, NPR poll. 62% of America say Confederate statues honoring leaders should remain. That I didn't even know just till now. I'll talk about that tomorrow more. As I scratch my nose. I still forget I'm on live stream. I'll scratch my nose, scratch my head, and I'll look at it. Damn, that doesn't look good, does it? I'm human. All right, everybody. Coming up next is BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by, of course, BZ. Speech is free. The drinks are double. And don't sit in Mary Brockman's seat. Everybody, I'm going to cut out a little bit early tonight. Have a great night. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.